What's up, everybody? My name is Ahmed Kenyatta, Dents, Associate Artistic Director here at the Dia Hurston New Village Arts Center, where we are kicking off our 22nd season. And I couldn't think of a better way to kick it off with the gentleman who's sitting here right next to me. We've been doing this for a minute. We got the band back together. Mr. Herbert Siguenza is sitting here with me. Not only is he sitting here with me, but he is bringing back, or has brought back, his show, A Weekend with Pablo Picasso, here at the Dia Hurston Village Arts Center. We open for previews on August 4th. Opening night is August 12th, and it'll be running through September 3rd. Herbert, good to see you back in the house, man.
Ahmed. I'm so happy that you're here at New Village Arts.
Yes, sir.
It's an organization, a theater that I think is very important in the world of theater here in San Diego. I'm really happy that you're here programming cultural events.
Yes, sir.
And it's just great. It's great, and I'm just happy to be back. We did Picasso, as you know, in 2019.
Yeah.
Before the before that thing.
Yeah, that
thing. And it was innocent. We was innocent, but now I just feel like there's an urgency again. There's an urgency to do this play again, and in particular because there's a war going on in Europe, as you know, in Ukraine and Russia. And that's what the play's about. I mean, he was preoccupied about wars that were affecting countries in Europe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, I've been riding with you on this thing since back in San Diego Rep when you first mounted it. And the question I have for you, what was the inspiration to take on Picasso? Like, what inspired you to dive into this guy, this major figure in history and art?
Well, I've always been a visual artist. Ever since I was a little kid, I could draw. Like, I had that God-given gift, and I would draw. And I went to art school eventually, College of Arts in Oakland. But when I was 7 years old, my mom took me to the dentist. And when you're in the waiting room, there's a table full of books and Life magazines and whatnot. And I picked up this book by Douglas Duncan. He was a photographer that had access to Picasso for 6 months, lived with him. And it's called The Private Life of Picasso. And it was a book full of photos of Picasso waking up, taking a bath, eating, playing with his kids, playing with his pets, painting, of course, right? Just clowning around and putting on costumes. And I just thought, wow, this old man is cool. Like I thought, this. I told my mom, when I grow up, I want to be like this old guy.
Right.
She goes, no, that's Picasso. He's crazy. He doesn't know how to paint or anything like that. And I said, no, I like this guy. I think he's onto something.
Yeah.
Because he was acting like a kid. He was like a child. That even at 76, he was, running around in his chonies and just didn't care, right? He didn't care. And I just thought that was interesting. And so just his persona has always affected me, And then later, of course, I learned more about him, and he basically changed art. He was a major influencer in the 20th century, and really changed art as we know it. The formalism of basically people were painting the same way for thousands of years, and here's this guy who just changed it differently, and made a big difference in how we see art and how we relate to art.
Yeah. So when it came time to write the play, put it together, like, what was your starting point? Like, what was your starting point? Like, where do I start this story at?
Well, it was that book. That book takes place in 1957. He's 76. And it's just a day in the life of Picasso, this book, right? And so I said, I want to write a play called A Weekend with Pablo Picasso. What would happen if the audience came to his chateau in the southern France in March of 1957? What would he do? What would he talk about? And basically, it's that simple of a premise. It's basically, you're going to spend 3 days with Pablo Picasso. What would he do? What would he eat? What would he talk about? What would he paint?
Yeah.
And so in my play, he has to do 6 paintings and 3 vases over the weekend, which is amazing, which he could probably knock out. So that's all fictional, but the whole play is based off his writings, his quotes, or things that people said about him. So I've just kind of curated a weekend of what a possible weekend of what Picasso would say and do. And it's been a major success for me. I've been, like you said, I started in San Diego Rep in 2010. We did a workshop production of it. Then it came back in 2013, and it's traveled around the nation a little bit. It's been to major theaters like in Houston and Denver, and up north. And here I am. But I think this is my favorite production has been here at New Village Arts,
Okay.
and half of it is because of the intimacy. This is a 100-seat
100
theater,
seats.
and I think that's the way to see this play. It's intimate, so you really feel like you're in the studio.
What is it? 'Cause I know I'm sure every time it comes to do it, there's new because time approaches and we're never the same people. Like no
No.
man crosses the same river
Right,
twice.
right,
It's
right,
not the
right.
same river. He's not the same man. So every time you come to do this play, and I guess I'll isolate it to here at this run here at New Village Arts. What was different this time about approaching the play and remounting it?
I think two things. One thing is very important is like there's the war in the Ukraine, the Russian war, Russia with Ukraine, and that's really affecting the piece. That's resonating in the piece because in my piece, it's when Russia invaded Czechoslovakia in 1956. So there's a big connection there. So I think people are feeling that. Personally, I'm aging. I'm aging as an actor, as a writer, as an artist. And I think I've gotten better as an actor, as a writer, as an artist, and I'm bringing that to this version. You know,
Right.
I'm aging into it. Like I said, he's 76 in my play. I'm 64, so I'm getting there. But so as I age, I'm also aging into the character. I'm living into the character as well. I'm also getting wisdom as I live my life, you know.
Right. How is it because you're actually teaching a playwriting masterclass here at the
Yes.
same time
Yes.
that you're rehearsing and getting ready to open this play? How is that affecting what you do on stage, knowing that you're coming in here 2 days a week teaching playwriting as well?
Yes, by the way, the playwriting course that I'm teaching here founded by the Perenni Foundation is great. Pacerni Foundation has been really great. Yeah, it's just being involved as an artist. The play talks about being creative 24/7, 365 days a year, and that's what Picasso was. He did not stop. He did not stop for anything. You know, he didn't even come to the United States. He had major exhibits in New York City. He didn't care.
He never came.
He never came. He didn't care. He says, "Why am I going to go? I'll stop working."
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So to him, the canvases and museums were the past for him. You know, he was interested in what was right now. What was he doing today? And me and being involved, teaching with young playwrights, old playwrights, it's just been a great gift for me because it just keeps me active, keeps my mind active, and then I just go into the on stage in the nighttime. And it's great.
Yeah. Now I've seen you do so much on stage in all the years that we've worked together. I've seen you do stuff on stage. I've seen the visual work you've done.
Yes.
But this one always sticks out to me because you're on stage, you're by yourself, so you're on stage, you're becoming Picasso, but then you're also actually painting on stage.
Mhm.
Then you're also interacting with the audience and you're doing a live sketch of somebody. If you can tell me where do you go to get ready to do that whole thing? Because that's a lot. As a person who's done public speaking, I couldn't imagine having to paint on stage and interact with people and act like. What is it like for you to get into that place to do that?
This is definitely the most challenging play for me, but at the same time, it's the most enjoyable because it encompasses everything I'm about. My whole spiritual, artistic being is on stage every night. You know, it's really people are getting all of me. You know, like the John Legend song says. All of me, they're getting all of me, right? And so it's just a real gift, you know. And I hate to say it, but I don't think this play cannot be done anywhere. I mean, you would have to get a guy that looks like Picasso, paints like Picasso. So this is a unique opportunity to come see my play here in Carlsbad because you're not going to see it anywhere else.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. No, you're not. I've been waiting for this thing to come back around for me to get another glimpse at it. When I sat through, one of the run-throughs, I was like, "Yep, I was there with you, like word for word. I remember this. This is great."
Yeah.
Talking to people who are going to come see it, who might watch this interview and are going to come see it, or maybe somewhere in the future they see it remounted somewhere else.
Yeah.
I know we never really like to prepare an audience too much to come watch something, but if you had words or something to say to people who are going to come see this play or thinking about coming to see it, what would you share with them on their way or in their contemplation of coming to watch the play?
Well, I hope they come without prejudice, or at least You know, I want to address the fact that Picasso has been getting, you know, in this new era, of sensitivities, I think Picasso has been getting a bad rap as someone who should be canceled, or someone that should be looked at differently, because he was not a great person as far as a father, or as a husband. Um, you know, he was a misogynist, they say, and all that. But I agree with that. But that's not the whole picture. He was much more than that. You know, he was a humanist. He was a philanthropist. He was a communist. He sure, yeah, he probably didn't treat his wives that well, but you know, that's his private life. You know, and I just think if you start really examining heroes, especially heroes from the 20th century, because they are people from that era.
Yeah.
You know, men who was a man that was born in 1880, like he was,
Right.
is going to be very different than a man that was born in 1980.
Right.
You know, there's no comparison,
Yeah.
and so it's kind of silly to compare, I think, because he was a man of his time. And if you start, you know, poking through history, you'll see that all our heroes were flawed. All our heroes, because they were from that time. And what I like to judge people by what they left us, you know, their legacy. And there's no comparison. Picasso was prolific. He did amazing revolutionary art. He left us one of the biggest protest pieces or of war, anti-war piece called Guernica, as you know, which is, you know, will live on forever. So, you know what I'm saying? The work has to speak for itself. And I'm here to work, and, you know, I do talk about his relationship with women in the play. I don't shy away from it. But he, you know, what he says, I am who I am. You know, I'm just this is the way I am. And really, it's the work. I think the work is what really motivated him to be the way he was. You know, he didn't care about people. His work was first.
Right.
Love was second. You know,
Yeah.
Friendship was second. All that other stuff was second. His work was first. And you know, and that rubs people the wrong way.
Yeah.
So I hope people come and say, okay, let me give him a second chance.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So remember, everybody, A Weekend with Pablo Picasso, starring Herbert Siguenza, written by Herbert Siguenza, and also directed by our old friend, Mr. Todd Salovey.
Yeah,
like I
Salovey.
said, we got the whole band back together.
The band's back together.
It is on stage through September 3rd, 2023. Visit newvillagearts.org to get your tickets and more information. Also visit the website, because we will be having other talkbacks. Our executive artistic director and founder, Christiana Kerner, is going to be talking with a couple of artists that we have in our visual space about Picasso and some of the issues like Herbert was talking about, the misogyny, the work that he did borrow from the African continent. So we're going to have some more talkbacks about that. We'll get those filmed as well. We invite you to come out and check those out. Just visit our website for those exact dates. But also, as I was saying, you do 3 pieces, am I right? 3 pieces on stage.
Yes.
The 2 paintings and the
sketch.
sketch.
Yes. And then I fake the other ones.
And
I just don't have time.
But those pieces are for auction or for sale from each performance.
Yes. We it's always been a tradition that I sell the paintings that I do on stage, and this is and I'm donating half the proceeds to New Village Arts. So this is just my way of contributing to the great programming that you guys do.
All right, thank you, everybody. Mr. Herbert Siguenza, A Weekend with Pablo Picasso.
Come see it
on the Conrad Priebus stage here at the Dia Hurston New Village Arts Center through September 3rd. 2023. Please get your tickets and come check it out. And also view the beautiful artwork that we have here in the gallery during the run of Pablo Picasso. Herbert, thank you very much, sir. Good luck on the rest of the run. And we'll talk to y'all soon. Thank you.